As a leader, more specifically as a commander, how did you handle mental health issues with those that fell under your command?
So I think for me to answer that, it's what I think majority of the military, in my experience in the Army, treated mental health. It was this taboo conversation or topic, if you will, that you just didn't address. You didn't talk about it. You didn't address. And it wasn't part of your vernacular or your everyday thought process. And the reason being is, we had to be ready. We were a deployable force. We had to be ready at any moment's notice, and we had to win our nation's war. And mental health has got such this negative connotation about it that it was this belief that you're going to end your career and it's going to destroy your career if you talk about it. So when I commanded as a troop commander at Fort Hood, Texas, that wasn't part of my conversation at all. I'm sure if I look back and I look closely now, I'm sure that I probably could have seen a lot more signs of mental health and what was going on. But I didn't look for those things. A huge part of it is I didn't think it was such an issue, right? When I thought about mental health back then, I looked at mental health from the aspect of, oh, it's just the crazies, or it's the ones that can't handle it. It's the ones that, have all these problems, or fill in the blank. But I think the truth is that I just didn't understand. I didn't understand because it wasn't something that I could relate to. Because I wasn't looking at myself hard enough. I wasn't looking at the trauma that had happened in my life as an Army officer. Everything from the assault that took place when I was a lieutenant, when I was deployed, to the things I experienced in my 3 tours of combat. It's just all of those things I didn't take into account. So fast forward, here I am out of the military, but my last year in the military, as I was transitioning out, I had to come to grips with that conversation of mental health. It hit me like a freight train, if you will. I had to have that conversation, and I had to have that conversation because I went down a very dark road with it. I'd planned a suicide, which I've been very open about in that conversation. And I think from when I commanded as a captain to now, it's different. The conversation is starting to change about mental health, about how senior leaders look at mental health, and how open we are with that conversation. I think we still have a ways to go, but it's definitely, more open than when I was a troop commander. No. You're right. And the reason why we don't talk about mental because it's invisible, right? You can definitely look at somebody who's missing a limb or who has scars on their face or their bodies and say, yeah, that's traumatic. And you're going through something or have gone through something, or you're continuously going through something, because there's a physical scar to that, right? Whereas mental, you don't see that. It's all internal. It's how you feel. It's what you think. It's how you project yourself, how you internalize things, but the brain is the most important organ in our body. It runs everything. And so, when we're not healthy there, your rest of your body isn't healthy, right? It affects you in every way, right? And I think the fact that we're having the conversation is where the change is starting to happen.